Welcome everyone to our latest presentation here on Assistive Touch. This presentation was done by Ashley Colburn, where she goes over the iMessage app. Please like and share the video with friends. Thanks for watching.
Morning, everybody. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the features you can do with messages beyond just sending a text message to people. If you've been using text messages with anything other than Siri for any amount of time, you may have noticed that there is a button next to the text field where you can enter text that just says apps. In the past, I believe it said camera and apps, but up to date now, it just says apps. And in there are multiple things that you can do that you may have heard people doing in the past or people may have sent to you, like how to send a photo or a video, up to sending things later, sending audio messages, as well as sending money. So all of these are things that are coming from other apps, but you can move them into messages. So I'm just going to kind of go through one by one, and I will take questions after. So I'm grabbing my phone.
Message calendar Thursday, January.
I'm going to go to messages.
Messages. One unread message.
Double tap.
Messages. Edit button. Icon unread.
I have a message that I have sent to my work phone. That is what I'm going to use as my demonstration object. There it is, my work phone. This is just a test.
Messages. Your message. This is just a test.
All right. So at the bottom of the list of messages that you send, where older messages are at the top, newer messages at the bottom, past your last message, there's a button that is going to say apps.
Delivered. Heading level 3.
Delivered.
Apps button.
Okay. It says apps. If you get to the iMessage box or the dictate or send button, you've gone too far. So if you're using VoiceOver, you will have to start going left. When you double tap or tap on apps, you will get a list that you can use.
Camera. Photos. Camera.
The first one is camera. This is where you can take a picture right here, right now, and have that be the picture that is sent to a person. So if you see something, a cute dog, or you want to show people what's outside your hotel window, something like that, you can take a picture that doesn't already exist and you can send that along. I'm not going to be getting into how you can actually use all of these different apps because that would be a lesson in and of itself.
Message received from Embers New 2024.
My sister is text messaging me on my demonstration phone. Anyway, so when I double tap on this button, it would open up the camera and I could just take a picture. I will demonstrate that fairly quickly.
Messages. Now. Embers New 2000. Viewfinder. Focus unlock. Image. Zoom. 1.0 times. Button. Adjustable.
Now it has all these different camera features. I don't take a lot of photos, so I don't know what they fully mean. But
Take picture. Button.
I swipe and it says take picture. Let me see if I'm taking a front or back facing video.
Back facing. Button.
Okay, it's back facing,
Take picture. Button.
which means the back of my phone is facing away from me. I could point it at anything. I'm pointing it over at my desk. Double tap the take photo button.
Effects. Button. Edit. Button.
I can add effects and whatnot,
Done. Button.
but I'll hit done.
Button. 3 unread. Back button. Messages. Delivered. Heading left. Cancel. Apps. Method. Add comment or send. Text field.
And then as you swipe through, I'm back on the messages screen and there are indications that there's a photo ready to send.
Apps. Button. Message. Add comment or send. Text field.
Add comment or send, which is not what it usually says. So I could add a comment here saying, here's a picture of Niagara Falls that I just took.
Send. Button. Send. Button.
And then I double tap on the send button.
Send message.
and that goes through. Now you have to use the apps button every time you want to open one of these apps again. The options go away. So I swipe back to the left, I double tap on apps. Camera, I took a picture already. If I go to the next one, photos, these are photos that already exist. Some people have a handful of photos, some people have thousands of photos. You do have to be able to navigate your Photos app to be able to find the picture that you want. They will be listed by date unless you've given them titles. But what I will do is double tap on Photos and see all the photos I've already taken that I could decide to share to somebody. This would work with videos as well. Where did it go? There we go. So there's the photo that I took at 10:15.
January 13th, time 10:32 a.m.
One I took at January 13th. Don't know what that photo is.
January 13th, time 10:32 a.m.
I'll take this one.
Selected photo date January 13th, time 10:32 a.m.
So it just has it by date. So you probably want to know ahead of time which photo you're going to take if you don't have any vision to see which one it is.
Video date January 9th. Video
and you can send videos.
January 13th, time photo done. Collections done button.
Done.
Done button.
So you can send multiple in a row. I could have just kept swiping through that list and double tapping and double tapping and double tapping to select.
Collections button 2 of 2. Done button. Done button. Collections button 2 of 2.
I hit done, and of course it doesn't want to go away.
Send message. Send. Dictate button.
But I hit send, problem solved. So very similar process there. I sent a photo that I took, and I sent a photo that had already been taken in the past. The done button won't go away. Clear is dimmed. When in doubt, close it, open it back up. I just close the Photos app in App Switcher,
Messages. 3 unread messages.
and I'll get back to it.
Messages. 3 unread. 3 unread. My work phone button. Messages. Your iMessage. Delivered. Apps. Button. Message. iMessage. Dictate. Button. Dictate. Button.
Okay, so I don't know why it wasn't going away, but it's gone now because I closed the app.
Message. My app. Button.
Opening apps again.
Camera. Photos.
Camera, photos.
Stickers.
Stickers, those are just, they're kind of like emojis, but they might be a little more visually complex, a little more detail in them, little funnier animations of things.
Apple Cash.
Apple Cash. So for this, you do have to have an up-to-date credit card or debit card in your Apple Wallet. So if you don't have that, this option will not appear for you. The way Apple Cash works in this situation, you're not paying somebody at the store with Apple Cash, you're paying another Apple user. It only works between Apple and Apple, at least at this point, as far as I know. So this wouldn't work with Android users, but I could double tap on Apple Cash.
Apple Cash. Camera. My work phone button. FaceTime button.
I know I'm sending it to my work phone.
Button. Message. iMessage. Dictate. Button. Sheet grabber. Button. Pound. $1. Adjustable.
I can adjust the amount to whatever I would want it to be. I would just have to swipe up, and I could send 20, 40, 300. I don't know if there's an upper limit.
Show keypad. Button. Request. Button.
I can request that money. So if you take somebody out to dinner, let's say, and they offer to pay for half of it, once you get the bill, you can tell them what half of it is and say, please send me $25.
Send. Button.
Or you can send it to somebody. This can be a really quick way for people who don't want to deal with Venmo or PayPal, more complicated options. In the past, you could also say, hey Siri, send $25 to another Apple person in your contacts. But again, you do have to have a debit card already in your Apple Wallet. Sometimes you already have a balance in your Apple Wallet of Apple Cash that people have sent to you. I had some coworkers before where we would order lunch out every Friday, and we would just pay each other back and forth through Apple Cash. So if I ordered lunch one day and everybody paid me, I might have $60 sitting in my Apple Cash, not connected to any card. And then next week, I could just use that balance to pay somebody else. If that all makes sense. You can also use gift card balances in that.
Request. Show keypad. Amount. $1. Adjustable.
I don't want to actually send $1 to anybody.
Button. Dictate. Button. Message. iMessage. Apps. Button. Messages. Your iMethod. Include. Deliver. Heading level 3. Apps. Button.
So I'll go to apps instead.
Photo. Stickers. Apple Cash. Audio.
And then there is audio. This is a very useful one. If you have something long to say, but you don't want it to be a phone call, you don't want to deal with dictation errors. Sometimes my friends will sing happy birthday and they'll send that audio message in. As soon as I double tap on this, if you are running, I believe, iOS 17 or later, it will start automatically. If you are using 16 or earlier, you will get a start recording button that you have to go and find. So I am going to double tap on this.
Audio. Audio.
And it should already be recording. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Hello, happy birthday. Don't want to bug you at work, so I'm not going to call you. Happy birthday to you. And then at the very bottom right, there is a stop button. I got to it with a 4-finger single tap at the bottom, but you can also swipe right, 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 or just touch the bottom right corner.
G grabber. Button. Stop. Button.
Tap on that.
Stop. Button.
When you tap on that, it puts you on the send
G
button.
grabber. Button. Amount. $1. Adjustable. G grabber. Send. Button. Continue recording. 35 seconds.
There's a continue recording button if you want to make it longer.
Play. Button.
Play button if you want to double check what you just recorded.
Close. Button.
And close if you don't want to send it. I'm going to go ahead and send it.
Play. Button. Continue recording. Send. Button. Send. Messages. Your iMessage. Includes picture. 10:18 a.m. Button. Image.
And VoiceOver dropped me on something that says your iMessage includes picture. If somebody ever sends you an audio message, all you have to do is get to it, and if you're not using VoiceOver, you can just touch it. If you are using VoiceOver, you double tap on it and it will start playing. There are also some settings in the messages section of the settings app where you can do things like start playing a message right away when you lift the phone up to your ear, things like that.
iMessage. Audio message. 10:23 a.m. 35 seconds. No transcript available. Button.
I'm going to double tap just so you can hear it.
Audio. Audio. Messages. Your iMessage. Includes picture. Spot. Button.
Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
My work phone. Button. FaceTime. Button.
That's enough of that. So as you might have noticed, the voiceover did make its way into the recording because it was loud enough, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. But if for some reason you don't want people to hear your voiceover, you can remedy that problem by wearing a headset while you're doing your recording. All right.
Messages. Your iMessage. Your iMessage. Auto deliver. App. Button. Message. iMessage. App. Button.
Back to apps. And I know I'm kind of blitzing through these fairly quickly. If you have any questions about specifics, do reach out to anyone on the team for specific details.
Photos. Stickers. Apple Cash. Audio. Send later.
I do have a question, Ashley.
Go for it.
When you say, for example, you want to take a picture, you want to send, say if I'm at an event and somebody takes a picture, 2 questions. How do you point the camera so you can, get the picture clearly? And does the people you send the message to have to be in your contact groups only?
So if you want to take a picture, That is something that might require some in-person guidance. Photography is a skill like any other. It's like, how do you get good at math? You have to learn math. You have to study math. If you have voiceover on and you're taking a picture of people, it will tell you, voiceover will tell you if it sees some faces. But the best and probably least satisfying answer to that question is you just have to practice and learn the camera techniques. In terms of, do they have to be in your contacts? No, they don't. You just have to
Okay.
know their phone number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here is one I use all the time. It came out in iOS 18. It says send later. I tend to wake up at strange hours, so I might wake up in the morning, go through text messages people have sent me, or maybe they ask me a question. I want to answer it, but I don't want to answer it at 5 o'clock in the morning and potentially wake them up if they don't have Do Not Disturb turned on. Or maybe I know someone's going to be at a meeting for the next few hours and I don't want them to see my text message and think they need to get to it right away. Or maybe I want to send somebody a text message at midnight saying happy birthday so that they get it right at that time. There could be a number of reasons. You don't want to forget to send it, you want it to be seen at a certain time, etc. If I double tap on send later.
Send later. Message. Text field. Messages. Delivered. Heading level 3. Apps. Button. Today 5 p.m. Button. Message. Text field. Is editing. Send later. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
I'll write note. You can also write the message before you hit send later. I will double tap. I will write hello.
Hello.
This is just a test.
Button. Tap Q. Tap W. Send. But message. Text field. Today 5 p.m. Button. Apps. Button. Messages. Your iMessage. Delivered. Heading level 3. Your iMessage. Audio message. Delivered. Apps. Button. Dictate. Dictate. Tap U. Tap U. Message. Text field. Is editing. Hello. This is just a test.
I messed up in that I should have
Day 5 p.m. Button.
done that
Apps. Button.
later.
Messages. Delivered. Heading level 3. Apps. Button. Today 5 p.m. Button. Messages. Audio message.
So I double tapped on when it suggested sending it, which was 5. I don't want to send it at 5 p.m. Wow, voiceover's talking fast. So I double tapped on its suggested time.
Today. Pick item. Adjustable.
I could send today. This is along the bottom of the screen. If I swipe up, it'll be tomorrow or the next day or the next day.
5 o'clock. Selected. Pick item. Adjustable. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Let's do
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
10
7 o'clock. 7
o'clock.
o'clock. 7 o'clock. Selected. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Selected.
Doesn't really
0, 0,
matter.
Selected. Pick item. Adjustable. 1 of 60 p.m. Selected. Pick item. Adjustable.
I'll send it at
0, 0 minutes.
6:02
Selected. Pick item. 0, 1 minute. 2 of 60. Select 0, 2 minutes. 3 of 60.
for a random reason.
PM. Selected. Pick 0, 2 minutes. Selected. Pick item. Adjustable. 3 of 60.
All of these are picker items that I can just swipe up or down and change them. And then I go to the send button
Today. Pick item. Adjustable.
over to the left.
Send button. Send message. Send. Record audio button. Message. Send later. Text field. Today 6:02 p.m. Pass button. Messages. Your iMessage. Hello. This is just a test. 6:02 p.m.
Okay, so on your end, it will look like it's been sent where, it says your iMessage, their iMessage, delivered, not delivered, delivered this day. It shows up in that thread, but it says that it was delivered at 6 p.m., even though 6 p.m. hasn't happened yet. If I swipe once more to the left.
Today 6:02 p.m. Edit button.
Said today, 6:02 p.m. edit. So if I realized I messed up and I really wanted it to get sent out at 7, I could change the time in the same way I initially set it. The other person or the group of people on the other end of this will not see this message until 6:02. And even if they are sending more and more messages, your message will come out at the correct time underneath all of theirs.
This is Peter. I have numerous messages in my collection of messages when I open up my message app. The question is, do I have to go all the way to the very last message that I have in order to see that plus sign?
So you have to go to the conversation that you want it to be in. And then if it's a very long message thread, you do have to get to the bottom of the screen. So you should just be able, based on how the messages are rendered, to touch the bottom of the screen to get yourself closer to the add button. You shouldn't have to flick like
All
80
the way to the
times to the
bottom.
right. Yeah.
Right,
You
right.
just need to
Okay,
bring focus to the bottom, whether you're doing a four-finger tap at the bottom or just dragging your finger or tapping the bottom.
right. Okay, thank you.